depth of support I don't think exists anywhere else in the industry. And so that brings us to the close of our presentation and takes us onto the Q&A section. Why SOS? Well, our technology, our price point, our delivery and support, and at the end of the day, it's about dollars and cents. This enables you to rapidly get into a business which produces very high margin recurring revenue for you, selling to the customers you've already got today. So please, two things. Firstly, the Kindle promotions. If to go into the draw for the Kindle, call into the to the call center, and the number is 877-896-3611. I'll also give you the direct dial because I don't think that line works from Canada. So the direct dial is +1 310 878 26. Those numbers again, 877-896-3611 is the toll free, and the direct dial is +1 310 878 2626. And just tell the partner, especially you speak to, that you're on the phone. I beg your pardon, that you were on the webinar this morning, and that you want to enter the Kindle draw, and the Kindle promotion code. They'll ask you for the promotion code. It's KDX8961. KDX8961. And now let's move into Q&A, which is usually my favorite part of the presentation. We've got a couple of questions on the line here, but we've got lots of participants, so I'd really encourage everybody to ask a question. Mike, here's my question to you. What's stopping you from getting in the online backup business? So if you would at least answer me that question, I'd be thrilled. And that hopefully will trigger some conversation. Kenneth asks, is this presentation being recorded and available for viewing later? Kenneth, it is. You'll get an email with a link to the video, and also on our website, on the reseller tab, you'll be able to find our webinars archive. It'll also be posted on our webinars archive within a few days. Mike asks, what's the most popular price plan for consumers? What's the ARPU that you see selling direct? Mike, it's really all across the board. We see a lot because we work with so many different partners, and there's a lot of different ways of selling it. We've got an ASP with our customers which is north of $100. So it can be a very rich market, but it depends how it's being sold, whether it's being bundled with something else, whether or not it's being sold as a discrete standalone product, if it's being sold, say, into a particular usage scenario, so being really pushed as a photo backup solution versus just being pushed as a generic backup solution. So the average customer base is really all over the board. Ryan's asking, what are the initial costs of getting started and selling? Ryan, we've got lots of different partner packages. Oh, I'll take that back. We've got 3 or 4 different main partnership offerings. The easiest one to get started is $250 a month, and that gets you up and running, gets you your own private cloud, fully rebranded software, access to the Partner Resource Center, everything I said today, everything I talked about today. And then it goes up from there. The bigger your partnership with SOS, the cheaper you get the cloud space from us on a buy rate basis. So the bigger your commitment is, then the lower your per unit cost is, which is pretty standard. Peter asks, is there a reseller sign-up fee monthly or annually? Peter, we don't look at it like that. There's a subscription fee where you pay for the services you buy from SOS Online Backup. Steve asks, what's the typical time it takes to do the first backup of a PC, a server? So Steve, it's a difficult question to answer because it totally depends on the amount of data you're backing up. There are 3 factors that determines the time. First is the amount of data. The second is the size of the uplink connection that you're using. And when I say uplink, I'm being careful about that. It's not the size of your connection. Many broadband connections are asymmetric in nature. So, for example, with DSL, it's very common to have 7 or 8 megs down, but only have 512 kilobits up. So you've really got to look at that upload speed on your broadband connection. And then the third variable is the content type. Certain types of data are far more compressible than others. So database and files and Office documents will often compress to 1/10 of their original size. Movies and video won't compress at all. So amount of data, type of connection, and type of content are your key variables. Usually the first backup will take a couple of days. So in a business environment, you'll often kick it off on a Friday and hopefully it's finished by the Monday. For a home user, it'll often run just overnight on the first backup. Subsequent backups usually run in a minute or two, because with subsequent backups, so day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on, it's only transferring the binary differences. So it's not just new files. Obviously, it will back up just new files. But even within the file that's already backed up, if they change, it doesn't back up the whole file. It just extracts a package from that file of just the binary difference and only backs up that tiny binary package that's actually changed. I hope that answers the question, Steve. Dennis asks, already supplying online backup using Rackspace's Jungle Disk white label product. Okay, Dennis. Not sure what the question is there. Glenn asks, do you have billing system or can we link to our custom billing software? Glenn, you can do either or. So there are 3 billing solutions. One where we just invoice you monthly and you bill your customers however you like. Another where we can actually collect payments from your customers and remit to you. Or the third, which I think you would go for, is use our billing API and just integrate our backends. So you'd keep using your billing software and hook into our backend. V asks, do I have to call the 877 number for the Kindle? Or is this automatic? You do, RV. You've got to call in and register to be in the Kindle draw. Martin asks, I have no customers on backup at this time, and the price point with no customers makes it hard to incur a cost. Can we do it on a percentage basis instead of the $250? Makes sense. Martin, we don't do any offers like that you're talking about. There's a lot of costs involved for us to get you fully branded and set up. So we've tried to make the monthly fee as low and painless as possible. We actually have a lot of people who come in and actually just pay us, will just buy $10,000 worth of product from us up front, for example. So it might be the sort of thing where you need to drive some interest among your potential customers, and then as you gather some speed with them, then look at launching online backup to them. Ryan says, who is my rep? Ryan, if you've already been speaking to a rep, then that person's your rep. If you don't know who your rep is, there's a good chance you haven't got one assigned. And if you just call in, they'll be able to sort that out. So if you just call in the 877 number, they'll sort that out for you. Deb asked, is there a contractual time commitment to the plans? Deb, all of our contracts are a year long, so there's a minimum of a year, yes. Martin asks, can you cap the amount of data that is sent during the initial backup, as many customers have a data cap monthly? Not automatically, Martin. I mean, the reason I hesitated is you could set the backup up like that. So you could just set it up so that originally you back up the 25 gigs of most important data and then incrementally add to the backup set. So you could achieve that same result, but there isn't a feature within the software that would let you just do that. Lynn says, if the backup should fail or if the backup hasn't taken place for X amount of time, will the user be notified? Lynn, yes, there's email reports that go to the customer if there's any issues. Tom says, can you change the backup scenario so that some files are backed up in their entirety, for example, application data? So Tom, you can switch off the binary differencing engine entirely and then all files would be backed up in their entirety. And if what you're saying is on one PC you want binary delta compression enabled for some files and disabled for others, you could achieve that result. You would just use 2 accounts. So in one account you disable binary differencing and use it to select the data you want to do full backups on daily, and in the other account you'd leave binary differencing on and select the data that you want to back up that way. Hope that makes sense. And Dennis asks, what kind of reporting is sent to the reseller daily about backup status? Dennis, reports are on demand, so it's not sent to you daily, but you can log in and access the data in real time. Martin asks, how long do the backup files stay in the cloud once the user deletes the file on their computer? Forever, Martin. We don't, I mean, that's the whole point of our archiving system. We don't delete the files just because the files are deleted from their computer. We think that's extremely bad product design. Yeah, you need to explicitly remove the data from our cloud for us to remove it. So once the file's deleted off the customer's PC, it then becomes archived on our system, but they can be deleted by the customer at any time. Lynn says, I'm assuming there is a client that sits on each machine. If this is the case, is there a quick way to deploy the client to each machine? Yes and yes, Lynn. So we can provide you with an MSI that you can push out using Active Directory group policy or any other central deployment technology that you're using. And yeah, there is a client that sits on every machine. And that's the last of our questions so far. Okay. Well, I'm happy to answer any more questions if there are some on the line, and if not, we're a little bit over time, so we can move to wrap up. Again, recommend calling in to register for the Kindle giveaway. When you call in, while you're there, I think get an ROI model done. It takes 10 minutes, and that'll give you a very good sense of what sort of revenue you could drive in this business. And I think it's probably one of the most powerful tools you can leverage to assess the business opportunity you've got. We've got some other questions coming in now. Tom, is there a limit to the number of accounts you can have? No, Tom, there are not. There is not. Lynn asks, must we go through a reseller to sign up for the service? Lynn, I'm confused. Are you looking to use this for yourself, or are you looking to become a reseller? Both. Well, if you're looking to use it for yourself, then you could always get it off our website. But our main focus is working with partners. So if you're looking to become a reseller, then call one of our partner specialists, and they can help you get set up. Hope that makes sense. Tom asks, how many gigabytes with the $250 a month package? Tom, they change it all the time. We've got some specials running right now, and I don't actually know off the top of my head. I believe it's 300 gigabytes at the moment. But that's actually one of the good reasons to stay in touch with a partner specialist is they can keep you updated on the various special offers we're doing on a monthly basis. Tony asks, does the $250 cover the space in the cloud? Absolutely, Tony. That covers everything. Software, infrastructure, the rebranding, the training, access to the marketing materials, access to the sales resources. So that whole dedicated team of 4 I was talking about, that even applies on the $250 a month package. So it really is a fantastic amount of service that you get at that level. And we have larger packages. I mean, our bread and butter is a $7,500 package, which most of our partners go for, and you get a lot more bang for your buck, so to speak, at that point. But yeah, I mean, it takes all sorts. Okay, we don't have any other questions at the moment. So I want to thank everybody for their time. It's been a good, lively interaction. I'm always interested to see how much interaction we can have through these forums. Hopefully it's been a useful use of an hour for you, and we'd like to